Today I want to discuss some pretty important topics that have come up in my age gap relationship. One thing you have to discuss in an age gap relationship is life insurance. There's a greater chance that you will outlive him if you are the younger partner. And if he has been married before, you need to make sure that his ex-wife name is not still listed as the beneficiary. So in my relationship, my husband did not change his life insurance policy until maybe a month after we were married. I was pretty upset about this because I had already explained to him why this was a sensitive subject for me. I do not want to be left with anxiety and uncertainty if I were to outlive him. I have my own money, of course, but that's not the point. I had already told him about my mother passing maybe 20 years ago, and she had borrowed against her insurance. So that meant that I had to pay the balance of her burial bill. My brothers said they would help, but they did not. And I also had to finish paying for the family home. So at the age I was, it left me in quite a bind. And you don't want your family members to be left struggling or just wondering what they're gonna do. And I couldn't understand why this didn't register to him that this would be something very important to be done like early on. And then my brother passed within a week of George and I getting married, and he did not have life insurance. So I had to help there too. And of course, I'm in a better financial situation than I was 20 years ago. But the point is, you just don't want your family members to be left having to do these things that you could already have settled, have things in place so things are easier when you pass. And so finally, after a heated argument or heated conversation, he sat down at the laptop and changed the beneficiary. And basically, he did not want to think about his mortality and all that comes up with thinking about death. But we all have to think about, death at some point. And it's more important, like I said, to make sure that your loved ones are not left in a bind. You also have to make sure that there's a will so that when the time comes, you don't have to worry about arguing with your stepkids about who gets what. It just makes things so much easier. Health is another topic to discuss. Depending on the age of the older man that you are married to, has he had a colonoscopy or a prostate exam? George had not had either one of these exams, even though he was over 50 years old. Now, the wife usually makes sure that the husband has these necessary exams, but in his first marriage, routine exams were not prioritized. They would eat healthy, do natural remedies for health, but going to the doctor was not prioritized. So I was always on him, some might say nagging. Yes, I was on him about going to the doctor. And he finally did have these exams done. Thankfully, things were fine. But it's just something that you have to bring up. It's for the sake of you and him. So many women like myself still want to have a baby later in life. George has a daughter from his first marriage, and she's 20 years old, so he's already experienced having a child, raising a child. I haven't experienced any of this. Now, he is okay with us having a baby, although he is not as enthusiastic about it as I am. He would rather compromise by us adopting an older child. And I do realize that older kids need a home. But to be honest, at this point in my life, I still want to experience pregnancy, go through childbirth, experience raising a child from an infant stage, teaching them values, and all that comes with having a child. I did tell him I think it's selfish of him not to want to give that to me, or not to be as enthusiastic about giving that to me as I think he should be, because I've had to listen to him tell me so many times about, tell me so many stories about raising his child. He would lay her on his chest, they would do the skin to skin bonding, and all of these other stories he's told me, telling me that these were the best moments. And I'm like, okay, so I'm supposed to keep listening to these stories and not want to experience any of that for myself. And I'm sure he probably thinks I'm selfish for wanting him to start over with having a child. But that's kind of where we are. And like I said, he's willing to give me a baby. We have done IVF. I don't want to get into that in this video. I'll talk about it another time. There you have it. So with an age gap relationship, you will have to have these crucial conversations before you get married. Then you'll have to have crucial conversations when you get married. And don't think that I am here on YouTube talking bad about my husband, because that's not the case. He knows what I am talking about in this video and he's fine with it. And if I left anything out that needs to be talked about in an age gap relationship, leave that in the comment section. Thank you for watching.